See the
I'm
screen?
sorry, I have a camera disabled on this machine, so it would hard for me to turn on with the camera, Venkat.
No problem.
Yeah.
So hi everyone. So the next session we are starting with Copilot Factory, building intelligent AI agents. We have Abdul Rashid Firoz. He's the director for Code Sizzlers India and UAE, and the Code Sizzlers websites are being given there. And you want to see on the Copilot Factory, the website is below that, so you can check that. And Abdul, next slide, please. Yeah, we have Abdul. He's a director and he's a Microsoft MVP and MCT. So he is Azure Cloud Advocate and AI lead for Copilot Factory. So he has experience on Azure, AWS, GCP, IoT, machine learning, apps and infra data and AI. He's available to reach on the LinkedIn profile. And Abdul, before we kickstart, you want to give a couple of insights on the Microsoft MVP program for our audience?
Oh, sure, Venkat. I'd be more than happy to do that. All right. So thanks, Venkat. Thanks for the quick introduction. And I really feel grateful for this invite on having a session with your user group. And thank you to the folks who have joined us as well over the weekend, especially on spending time to build their knowledge. I see this user group has been doing, major activities on, especially I'm seeing more steps on AI, right, and much on data as well. And just thought of joining in. Thanks, Venkat. Thanks for hosting this. This is going to be like, a huge kind of stuff. I know how hard it is to work at the back end to line up the people and to get the logistics done and have the decks to be ready. You're doing a great job, and thank you so much for you and your entire team as well. MVP
Thanks, Abdul.
program.
Basically, it you speakers and the audience are the motivation for us to do this. Thank you so much, everyone.
That's a huge word. Okay. All right. Uh, MVP is said to be a community program, which is said to be from Microsoft. And many think that, it's a tagline from Microsoft where people yearn on the MVP program. No, it's not like that. It's completely a passion. It's completely like what Venkat is doing. It's completely like what Nama is doing, right? We are here to share the knowledges. We are here to share the knowledge of what we gain and what we can make it more enhanced by keep it sharing with you as well. And MVP program is like you get a recognition of MVP if you're said to be simply SME, right? If you're strong with the domain knowledge, say for example you're good with apps or you're good with infra that you're speaking about over the Microsoft stack. So it can be of anything, like you say you're an open source guy coming with LangChain experience, and you now know like how you can integrate LangChain with Azure's AI Foundry and build applications. And if you have done like let's say some 20 sessions, or if you have a portfolio records for at least like 1 year in past, which says that you have delivered a lot many training. I mean training in the sense like what we are doing right now, like knowledge sharing, right? So if you have given a community talk, then Microsoft is going to validate it and you would be recognized as a Microsoft MVP then. I see the Middle East is doing a huge kind of scope towards our MVP program, and people in India as well have been with a long count being with the program as well. And the add-ons that you used to get with the MVP program is that you get a direct access with the DL and what else you need. You get a direct access with the product team. You can directly communicate with them if at all if you have any questions or if you find like any projects which are said to be like showstoppers for you, you can speak to the product team and you can get insights from them. You get a preview access of almost like all features or what's the roadmap that Microsoft has been working on, and you strongly have an NDA with it. So you need to make sure that you fall within the NDA and you're not supposed to share like any kind of information which is said to be shared on the MVP program. So it's up to you. You go with making something understood before the public, before the GA is said to be there, right? Secondly, you get access to the MVP submit. So you directly go, you can try coming up, attending the MVP summit event that happens once in a year. And it starts by, it's almost like starting with the upcoming week that we have at Seattle. So Microsoft gives you a recommendation letter saying that you need to come up for Seattle. And let's again be transparent. Microsoft is not going to sponsor you, right? They give a handful of sponsorships, right? But it's not that Microsoft completely sponsors for you.
But I
They were
think,
previously,
Abdul, this year
yeah.
they're also giving the sponsorship for the travel and the stay as well from this year. I have a couple of friends
Yeah.
who are being sponsored by Microsoft for the travel and the stay. So I
You're
think
right. So very handful of people. They stopped it right from the COVID days, and
yes,
they have resumed back now for very handful of people,
yes,
where they are sponsoring. It's like, they get like 20 to 30% of sponsorship on their air tickets and hotel. So that's like what Microsoft supports. And let me say, it's more of what you have in the patient, right? What you communicate or what you contribute towards Microsoft. So
correct.
that's exactly where the MVP program is. I would be more than happy to see you people over the program as well. It's like, it's a lot many fun, and it's lot many knowledge sharing and gain that we have as well over the MVP program. We get a lot many network to be done as well. I came to know about Venkat Wadli with the help of this community contribution. I mean, like, we stretch the wings towards the MVPs, and we get like knowing each other, sharing the knowledge, right? So that's all about the MVP program that we have.
Yeah, more than just the sharing knowledge. So whatever whoever is doing for this community is all through passion. Okay, so nobody does it for any money and nobody does it for any contribution involved, because what we do is only involved with the passion. Okay, if you are doing for money, maybe you will do it today and tomorrow you will not get enough money and you don't do it. So, but only motivation for this community to do is the passion. Whoever has that passion and the passionate individuals are definitely will be able to get this tag of MVPs. So thank you so much, Abdul, for the insights on MVP. Over to you for the Copilot.
Thank you so much, Wicket. Yeah. Well, so welcome to this, the next 1 hour that we're going to spend time on focusing towards how we can build some intelligent AI agents with the help of, especially, we are speaking on the Microsoft stack that we have. Before getting onto this, I want to speak about like what we do in the Copilot Factory, right? Copilot Factory is said to be a service, a consulting service that's from Code and we work as Copilot accelerators. We are preferred partners of Microsoft on data and AI solutions. And we work with Microsoft partners. We work with customers on accelerating the copilots, like removing the showstoppers, addressing the security blocks that we have. And we do have, like, we work on a factory as a way where we do some assessment for you, and we even recommend you with the scenarios and get your copilot to be ready within days and not in months. So that's exactly what we do at Copilot Factory. And we do have a community service where we have been doing knowledge sharing. And this is like one kind of stuff where we want to join hands with Venkat on speaking about what we can do with building the AI agents on the Microsoft Azure AI. So here is a quick agenda. We're going to speak about, if at all, if you're ready for an AI agent and what exactly an AI agent is. This is something that you people should be already knowing. But let's dive deeper. We might have a mixed crowd of audience, so let's make sense about what an AI agent is. And we will also speak about which AI agent service on Microsoft to use, right? Either you stick on with low code or you go with the pro code as such. A demo and followed by a knowledge discussion as well. I would say, like, I know that you people should have heard about this AI agents almost like any conference that you go, or almost like wherever you try speaking with somebody over the LinkedIn, the blog, the post that you would have seen. It's said to be like AI agents, but let's go. We will see how Microsoft is enhancing something called AI agent, right? So that's said to be the leg here. All right. So are you ready for an AI agent? Consider you're working with an organization, right, which is said to be on a retail, or which is said to be like an airline industry, right? And you're looking for something where you want to achieve an efficiency, right? And there's like a huge threat that people feel, we there might be a job, loser ratio when you think about having an AI agent. It's actually not. AI agent, or let's say AI itself, is like it's gonna enhance the way that you're gonna work, right? It's like If at all, if you're doing your work for 8 hours, then we think about like, why not we can complete it on a 1 hour, right? If you're writing a C sharp console app, which takes you like 1 hour, why not we do it within like 5 minutes? Go try with GitHub Copilot, give a LLM, right? Give a prompt, select a LLM, and you say that you want to get it completed as such. So that's exactly where we stick on to AI, and that's exactly where we move on to something called AI agent. So AI agent doesn't have a threat for you. There's nothing like you get a comparison, Sapiens versus AI as such, nothing as such. It's gonna be generally like you work, if at all, if you know like you develop an AI agent or you know to work with an AI agent, then you're gonna be a rock star. Now, if you're a retail customer or if you're like a airline industry who is gonna make sense about how to develop an AI agent, then that's exactly where we go with Copilot Factory. We do some two kind of assessments. One is said to be a AI maturity assessment, and the other one is said to be a AI readiness assessment. We come up with a lot many customers who seek that they have a Copilot license, being a preferred partner of Microsoft, or they have on their mind like let's go with AI agent, but they don't really understand like what could be a scenario that they can develop as such. So in that point of stuff, right, we come up with having this assessment to be done. The very first thing is that a maturity assessment that we do, where you want to make sense whether you're completely digitalized or you're like semi-digitalized, and then put up a testing roadmap for the same. We give up an agent again for the same, where we want you to answer the questions, and based on the questions that you have come up with, based on the answers that you give up with, right, we recommend you either you go with an AI agent in an easiest way, or you need to do some predefined steps to get it done as such. So that's said to be like a AI maturity assessment. And secondly, we have something called as a readiness assessment. Now, let's say you're all good to go with AI, and we or you yourself have an engineering team, AI engineering team, who is looking for a Copilot to be developed. Now, what could be the bottlenecks that you come up with, right? Let's take up like you wanna do something called prompt engineering that comes in. What in case if we work with an organization, let's say this user group itself is an organization, right? In that case, I need Venkat who has to come up with a complete control of the events that's happening, the recording that's set to be there, and what Nama was speaking about, what Firoz was speaking about, right? Who are the learners, right? Now, if at all, if I'm going to be a program manager for this event, then I just need to make sure that whether the StreamYard or whether the Teams link has been generated, was it sent to all learners, right? Where the recording was able to access to all of them. So now I no need a granular access, which is said to be on a owner point. Instead, I need a granular access, which is said to be, let's say, on a contributor rights or in an evaluator rights, right? So that kind of security breaches that we have, think about huge data sets, right? With TBs of data, with real time of data, how we're going to get it fixed. So you need to work with something called prompt engineering. You need to work with something called addressing the role-based securities. And what's going to be the GPT models or what's going to be the AI models that we're going to recommend for you. So that's like something which we get covered on the readiness assessment. So two things, maturity assessment. Maturity assessment is simply going to help you out. You try making sense about whether your environment or whether your organization is ready to stick onto the same, right? And the other one is that we say that you do a readiness assessment. So here in the maturity assessment, we're going to do a infrastructure audit. We will go with the current state analysis and gap identification. So this is something, the very basic thing that you need to stick on. You need to assess the existing AI infrastructure, the tools, and the workflows. You also need to think about the data readiness, the quality of the data that you have, and set up a framework governance as well, and audit the workforce skills and the alignment with the AI adoption that you have. We then need to go thinking about the maturity framework customization. You need to define the maturity levels, right? So we help in coming up with, I mean, like any of a guy who thinks about sticking onto AI agent has to think about highlighting the gaps in data pipelines, the tooling that you're going to use, and on top of that, we need to come up with a use case, prioritization matrix too. So this is all like what you need to start with an AI maturity assessment, and then comes like you do a readiness assessment there. So readiness is okay. Now let's say you have the steps ready, you're digitalized, right? And already have a license as well, where you're going to stick towards something like Copilot, or you're sticking towards something like AI Foundry, where you want to stick with to develop your solutions. In that case, you need to do something called readiness assessment. So again, we get into the picture. We say that we accelerate the ROI with pre-built, okay, or let's say the compliance first AI co-pilots, where we already have some templates. If at all, if you're ready to expose the APIs, your REST APIs, then we keep it ready for you, that your co-pilot is ready available. So what's the leg that you people need to do is that you have to cooperate, you have to work with the engineering team to make sense about the infrastructure health check, data ecosystem availability, right? The talent and the skills that your engineering team is going to come up with. And we then go, we need to propose with a strategic, use case prioritization. So that sets, an ROI benchmark, that sets an AI simulation there, and then go with a technical architecture and scalability to be put up with. So this is all like, non-functionalities, I would say, that you need to know before getting on to an AI agent. Now, let's make sense about what an AI agent is. An AI agent is said to be a semi-autonomous bot, right? Previously, we had something called bot that we have been working across. And this is like an extended version of a bot where it can achieve some specific goals without needing any predefined steps or the process towards it. And it learns on its own. So it dynamically goes with determining the best action based on the data and based on the context that you're going to come up with. So agents are going to be like a smart, microservice. So think of like AI agents as a smart microservice that can interact with users and systems to provide intelligent response and the actions here. They're going to be like super flexible and adaptive, making them powerful tools for, various applications there. You can answer any complex questions by analyzing the data that you provide for the insights there. Say, for example, they can retrieve specific informations like what was your 2010 revenue, okay, by mentioning your brand. If at all, let's say if you're working for Emirates and you want to make sense like what's the revenue generated by Emirates by 2010 or 2020, right? Present on the meaningful way of data set that you have, it can let you know. Or let's say what was the fuel efficiency achieved by, AK 123 airlines flying from DXB to Seattle, something like that. Still, it can go, it can try giving up, the results for the same. What's the customer feedback that you received on a particular airline space? So we can perform actions. You need to, I mean, beyond answering questions, you need to make sense that the AI agent that you develop can perform actions based on the user request. They can also go like what the previous session was about. You can generate charts, you can generate reports from data. It can make it easier for users to understand and visualize the information. Why to go with text, right? We can still make it sense like you try speaking to your co-pilot. Let's use voice. And I don't want to speak in English. Let me speak on Arab. Let me speak on Hindi, Tamil, right? It can still, go ahead trying to respond for the same thing. So why this agent on Azure? Why Azure AI agent service to be on Azure? Uh, Microsoft comes with Azure AI agent service recommending that they provide you with a fully managed platform that allows the developers to build, deploy, and scale, high quality AI agents in an effortless way. So this eliminates the need to worry about underlying infrastructure like compute, storage, and this enables the developers to focus on creating intelligent solutions too. Now, the key benefits of this Azure AI agent service is it's tailored to meet specific business needs. It ensures that AI agents are aligned with organization goals, and we integrate seamlessly with partner ecosystem, enhancing the functionality and extending the capabilities. So GPT is nothing but Copilot. What else? You want to think about DeepSeek to be integrated? Yes, we do have it. You need something from Meta? Yes, we have it on AI Foundry. You can try adding it up there. So it's like it goes with coming up with certifications that ensures even the compliance with industry standards and security protocols. And that's exactly where we stand with Microsoft to develop AI agents. What makes it more interesting is that If at all, if you mean that you just have a, you're not a full stack developer, but then you just know, a basic parameter change, you know, a basic, okay, a mid-level of full stack developer, then you can still go, you can develop an AI agent. You have a basic knowledge of what a model is, what a LLM is, what a prompt, topic, action is. That's more than enough, inviting you to develop an AI agent there. So Microsoft Azure gives you with two things. One is said to be low code, and the other one is said to be a pro code that we have here. Low code is that you stick onto the Copilot Studio, okay? You just give up the prompt that you need, and the topics, actions, it all goes with predefined customization that's set to be ready available. And you go, you try working with the conversations, topics, actions, make sense whether you want to build a RAG or put up a vector at top of it, and then you have your Copilot to be ready available. You can also go with publishing towards the channels like, say, WhatsApp, Telegram, right? Integrate with Twilio or use any of the ACS service that we have. Still, you have it like ready available. You can publish it. It makes it as much as simple that you go with your Copilot, publish it towards the environment as a web app, or publish it within your existing applications or even your mobile app that you have. So that's the power where we stick on towards Copilot Studio. And this is said to be like a low code solution. Secondly, we have something called AI Foundry that we stick on with. AI Foundry is a standard agent with a managed identity, which is set up for authentication. It integrates like almost all AI model deployments, and it provides you with the AI Hub. Now, if you want to say that I want to use Cosmos DB or I want to use a search index, right? AI search, you still go with the resource group you can spin up. Just with a click, you go with a new connection to be enabled there. This provides you more of deep diving, work with the models, build your own model, right? Where you stand up with something called AI Foundry thing. So this is set to be for pro code developers. So you have like two environments, either stick onto the Copilot Studio or you go with the AI Foundry. Now let's go. We will make sense about a demo where we can see both of these things. How AI, I mean, how Copilot Studio works with. That's the very first thing. Let's make a quick tour, and we can also build some agents which are set to be for the AI Foundry thing. So let's go on with the demo there. And if at all, if you have any questions, please feel free to keep it posted on the chat. Or if not, I would say that let's say the last 15, right? Let's stick on to the questions thing. So I'm here with my screen. Let me say I can go with something called copilotstudio.microsoft.com. So once when I signed in here, it's getting loaded. Let's wait. It should not take a long time. Let me give this once. Yeah. Okay, there we go with the Copilot Studio. Now you see here, what I was mentioning about the Copilot factory is that we have all these pre-built agents which are set to be available. We have something called DocBot, which is for the Boston Healthcare that we have been using. You just go, you can book your appointments. Now let me show you. I can go for this. We have built Copilot for Boston Healthcare, where it's just like a mimic of what we have there. Just wondering why it takes a long time. Well, here you could see that we can do both the booking or we can even go with the patient records. So there's no need of going up with, with a massive OCR to be achieved, to be purchased, right? Let's go with booking or accessing the patient records just simply with a prompt and having it to be published towards WhatsApp, integrating it with calendar. So let's say if I'm going to book an appointment for my kid, saying that I need to take him towards a pediatrician. So in that case, I can simply go ahead. I can say that, hey, I want to meet Dr. ABC, where my kid is, I simply go say booking. It can ask me what's your name, right? See the activity map, right? It can ask me what's the name. Let me say my name is Pharaoh. And what's your phone number? So let's give some phone number. And based on my previous record, it can still fetch, right? See, I have a previous record on this number which says that, do you want to meet the pediatrician? And we have all these pediatricians who are said to be available there. Now I can say like I want to meet Dr. Jackson. We can check his portfolio, right? His years of experience then. And we can also check the availability of the doctor. Then we say that my kid is having ABC, right? Whatever the problem is said to be. And we book an appointment as well. Then immediately it goes to the doctor's calendar for Jackson, saying that you have an appointment with Firo for his kid with all the, whatever it is said to be. And we also get a calendar invite added towards on our, app then. Now, the point what makes sense here is that when you visit a doctor, the doctor is not going to write a prescription for you, or there's no Medilog files, right? Instead, he's going to write over the WhatsApp channel itself. This has been published towards WhatsApp channel. So you see here, we are using Twilio, and now we have ACS as well that has come up with WhatsApp. So we can use either of these servers, and the doctor can just write, I'm recommending him to take a test, a tonic, or a medication, right? They can just write all those steps over the WhatsApp chat, and that gets added on towards a record. So at the back end, it's going to be simply an easy table with my contact number, right? And the next time, maybe after 3 months or 6 months, I go to the doctor, they can still see like what was my booking reference previously, what's the log of records that we have. So that makes it, much more simpler there. So we have like much more agents. We speak about going up with customer inquiry agent. Okay, we have like airline agent which we have built. We go with just like simple Q&A, store operations for Microsoft, right? And we do have like something called Copilot factory agent. So there's all like different kind of agents which are set to be ready available. Now, if you say that I want to build it something for our healthcare industry, then we just modify the REST APIs, keep it ready available for you. If you want to build a new agent, then you say go with a new agent and type a message here. Either you can type or you can even try, adding it towards configuring here. I'll go with a very simple scenario. Hey, I need an AI agent to be built which can work for translation between English and Arabic. So that's set to be my prompt. Hope you could see this. It says you're going to provide accurate translations, ensure the translation. So this is all taken care by Microsoft now. So that's exactly where I say it's a managed service. Now it says, great. Now let's determine a name for your translation agent. How about bilingual translator? I'm gonna make it like I speak more of interactive. That sounds good. But I would suggest to go with, you know, uh, let's try going up with a user group name of what we have, right? So I'm giving it up, saying that let's work for this community. Okay, what we have as such, I will say D365. Okay, user group Middle East translator. So I'm going to give up this name and yeah, let's give enter. Now it says the name is D365 user group translator. And it asks you what you need to accomplish with this. Translate documents from English to Arabic, right? Or assist the users in real-time translation during conversation. So this like you give a voice and you can ask them to do it. Let's try the same. I would say, let's take this. Oops, sorry. Let's go with that. And then we would get the next question. The agent is now set up to translate between English and Arabic. Would you like to add any public accessible data for the agent to reference? Right, it's optional. It's just a demo. So I'm not. Let's have a roadmap of session. I will go to the next session series, speaking with Venkat, where we can add some more knowledge base. We will build RAG at top of it like that. Okay. But for now, let me keep it simple. I'm going to give you a comparison between these two things to build agents. So let's say I don't have any URLs, but makes sense. The response should be short and precise. This has been already built atop of, the AI fairness as well. I can still say also make sure you don't answer for any vulnerable asks from the users. Okay, I give up these things, and it says the goal is to translate the documents between English and Arabic, ensuring the responses are set to be like this, and it will not respond to any vulnerable or potentially harmful queries from the users. And it says that you can continue exploring with the Copilot Studio to add more functionalities. Now I'm just making it more interactive because this helps even Microsoft to, build the uh, studio to be much better. So let's say thanks and let's say create now. So this sets up the agent. It's more of like you're giving your requirement towards the Copilot Studio and it builds the agent for us. There we go. Now it says that the description is an AI agent is going to translate all these things. I can even change the logo. Okay. Let's say I want to edit this. Okay. And we can change the logo here. We can add the knowledge if you need. Okay. You go to the settings. This gives you more details. Like you want to change the icon and all those stuffs, which can be done here. You see this? It's ready now. You say change the icon. Let me say I'll use my factory icon. Save this thing. And we can go to the GenAI, we can say use a classic or you go with more precise to be enabled then. We can keep the security. We need to make sure that it has the authentication is set to be enabled. Okay. You need to authenticate because anyone can come, they can give up some kind of LLM, right? And we need to make sure that the data set is going to respond accordingly for it. So just make sure that you have the security to be enabled. And you have like much more options. You can even enable voice for it, right? And we do have like skills. You can add much skills towards the same. So this is all together like what we can modify. Now we have the test, which is set to be available here. So let's say I go here. I say, hey, I can even change this default message, what you find here. So we have like, see the topics where it has added all these things down. It has a starter prompt as well, saying translate English to Arabic or Arabic to English, do a document translation. Now let me take this. How can I help you today? I need your help in translating a document to Arab. Please provide the text you need to translate to Arab. Okay, so let me say, uh, try this. How are you doing? Can you see this? It goes with, the content type generated. I can still go. I say I can, attach some document. Okay. And we can keep it to be ready available then. Like it can translate the documents there. So it's like you go, you stretch the wings deeper. So you develop any kind of agents. Now this is pretty simple. I have this ready. I can even do some more modifications and say publish. It's getting published. Let's wait. Okay. Now let me go to the channels. As I told you before, I can publish this as a website or call it towards an existing website, right? Or a mobile app, Facebook, anything that we have here. Let's say I want to publish this as a demo website. It's getting ready. You need to go with security, authentication, and choose an option for this. Okay, let me go to security, authentication, say no authentication. This is not recommended, but just for, demo purpose, I'm doing this. If not, I need to go with the intra, do an app registration, and it works from there. Now let's say go with the demo website. Hey, try this translator from Copilot Factory. What translator is this? D365, right? User group released. Let's say save. And this is all like conversation status. Let's say you go with same hello start over. Okay. So let's save this. And now copy this link, open a new tab, go for the same. Oops. Hope you can see this. It's already available now. It takes time to get published. So let's wait for some, maybe some couple of minutes and then you can try from here. It happens because it needs to work with authentication. Maybe after some 1 or 2 minutes of time, this will be ready available. And we have our, the Copilot to be up there. So you just say hello and it can provide a response on top of it. I insist again, it's getting published at the back end. So we need to wait at least for 5 minutes max. Okay, then it will be ready available then. But you can still go, you try with the test pane, which is said to be here. You can make sense that it can work there. So say hello. See, you get a response there. So this is like, I'm saying it's low code. Okay. What if I want to try with something called pro code then? So let me open a new tab. I would say go with Azure portal in that case. So portal.azure.com. Sign in with the account. And we have a service called AI Foundry. So let me say create a service. Or instead of going with this, let's even open a new tab, go for ai.azure.com. This lands up at the AI Foundry there, right? We get landed up here. So at top of this, you can define your models, you can create a chat playground for you. So let's create a hub and a project first. So I'm gonna say, create a project. We can give a project name there. So let's give up a project name. I'm gonna say this is gonna be, what is that? Dynamics 365 uh, Middle East user group, right? With AI Hub. I'm going to create this. So this is going to be my, or let's say AI project. And we can say customize. I can pick the subscription here. Let me say I will go with a sponsorship. And we set up a hub name. So the hub name can be again Dynamics 365 user group with Middle East. Okay. Or what is that? Middle East user group, right? So let me say Middle East user group. And we set up, a hub. So let's say AI hub. I'm going to give up this name as AI hub. Okay, name must be between characters long. It's for must be alphanumeric, and the rest may contain no white spaces allowed. I don't think there's a white space, so this should not cause an error. And there's a sponsorship that we are going to use the account subscription. I'll then say I need to create a new resource group. Okay, the resource group name can be again Dynamics 365 Middle East user group. I recommend to go with small characters. Okay, and what is that? It's going to be a resource group. So let's say AI resources to be created. So next, now the data center location. Let's say help me choose, which can help you to You go, you can, for example, if I'm using the model GPT-4, okay. So let's say I'm using GPT-4, I can select this and that will say which data center location is recommended for us. So let's say use North Central US and connect with the Azure AI service or Azure OpenAI service. Then if at all, if you need, you can say create a new one. I will stick on to the same. And you can also connect to the AI search if it's needed. I'll let you know how we can connect this even later. So let's say go to the next and now create a hub. So this creates a hub on which you have your AI project, your hub, and the related AI services, the storage account on which your data sets would be available. And to do this encrypted and the authentication to be handled out, we do have a key vault that gets created at the backend. Now the validation is happening. Okay, let's say a bicep template would be generated at the backend to deploy it. And once when this is done, the next step is that it creates a resource. Let's wait for it. Any questions in the meantime as we work on it? Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, sounds good. Uh, if at all, if you have any questions, you can still go ahead. You can post it in the chat. You could see that the storage account and the key vault is created. In the meantime, even if you could go to the portal here, let's say I will stick onto the resource groups and you see the user group here and it's running there. I have the deployment. There we go. Now let's go to the resource group. And you see the three services which are set to be up. Let's go to the AI Foundry. Shall wait for this. Just creating a project there. You find the AI service there. Yeah, it's all done. Now you see the hub is ready available for us. So you have like model catalog, you do have like playgrounds where you can find, all the models which are set to be there. We then have the AI services that are set to be connected. Let's say the cognitive service that are set to be connected there. At top of this, you see the endpoints and keys which can help you to connect with, the custom apps that you're going to develop there. Let me go to the management center. When I click on this, you can find the configuring settings, right, for all the connected service that are set to be there. It's said to be both on the hub level and even in the project level there. We then have like, you could go, you find like the navigation panels, which speaks about the overview, okay? And you do have like the hub display name, the resource name. It lists up the complete details. And for your understanding, you can go, you can set a description of what this particular project is going to do for us. Now, let me say I can go to the project then, right? We get the endpoints of all those steps here. So we are at the hub properties and you can check with the resource group. So let's say go to the management center, open this resource group. So there's an option that you click here and it lets you to open the Azure portal there to find the resource group. So this is where you go, you try gaining like access controls. You put up the role-based access controls for people who are going to work within this project then. Now let me add a connected resource. I can say create, and simply let's try adding up an Azure AI service for this. So say I want to look for Azure AI services. Let's try adding this. Create. You have the subscription. Okay, I was at North Central US, so let me pick the same region. North Central US. And the name here, So the name can be AI, okay, search DB365 Middle East user group. Pricing can be a standard plan. And the network goes then, let's simply go, we will try creating this. So if you want to add like any kind of a service later, then you just say create and we can try connecting it there. Right, it's getting deployed again. You could see it here. Let's go to the resource and we find it here. Now let me say I will find the connected resource. So let's go back. See, you have overview, go for the connected resources. Remember, we created something called Dynamics 365 Middle East User Group AI resource. Okay, so let me say a new connection to be established. That's set to be AI search, the AI service, sorry. And we can say I can browse the resource, right? That has two things. Let's say I'm going to connect for this resource that we have, or you search for it so that it gives you the details. So authentication is going to be with the API key. We are not going to enter it. It fetches automatically, right? Since it's running already on Azure. Let's say add the connection. So that's connected. Oops, not this. I'm sorry about this. I wanna provoke this, right? Let's say, see, we have it here. We can try removing it. I just recently added this. So what I could do is let me select this and say delete it. I don't want to have the connection here. Instead, I want to add another new connection, which I created now. So say new connection, AI service, and here it is. Okay. So say add connection. There we go. Now click on close. Hope you can see this, the connection which we added before. And the key is also available. So if at all, if you want to try connecting with the key, then you simply go, you can try this. Now go to the AI services. Okay. Let's say I can go to the project. And here in the project, we have like scroll down. Yes, this is the one which we created. Fail to get. Let's try, no problem. Let's go for this. And I would say I need to work with the AI services for this. So click on Azure AI service. And can you find this? We have the connectivity, which is said to be available there. So in the AI service, you can say that you want to work with, the language translator, right? Or you want to build with a custom app. So all those things can be done with the help of this. So first you choose the right model, and then you go up, you try connecting to the document and change it across. So I repeat, I go to the AI services. And can you find this? We have the language with plus translator now. This can also do other things. The one which we have called up now, it can do vision with document, it can work with content safety, it can work with speech. Remember the Copilot which we developed, that also has the same functionality. It adds speech. And we said that it can also go with the translator that to be enabled there. Let me say language plus translator. We get this. And I can say I need to do see, it gives all the default things what it can do. Let's say I want to work with text translation for this. So translation, Go with text translation then. And we could try, say, English to Arabic is there. Or we can say try it with my own. Try using my service. Okay, my connected service is set to be here. And language, I will give it a English. Say go for Arabic. And let's say, oh, what are you doing? Let's try this. Okay, the translation will appear here. I should find a button called translate. Okay, it's not able to get the details. Maybe a corrupted one. Let's try a different service. Give me a minute. Language plus translation. Go with translation. Text translation to be done. Let's try with this. Okay, since I gave delete, seems like there's a problem with that. I would say go with English. See, there's a problem with this, but generally, if you could go, you give the text like on English and you click on translate, you can find it there in the error thing. And as usual, like you say, you run your code, you can call it on your apps. Okay, the problem is that remember I deleted, I went on with a replacement, right? So there's no AI service now, right? We just have this, but the key vault has been deleted. We can try connecting it once again. Maybe you go to the management center, say you want to do a new connection with AI service, and we could say use this connection then. Click on close. Now allow a minute and go to the project. Okay, you have the AI services. So there you can try, it can work there. Say try it on your own and locate the resource, it should work there. If not, you create a new AI service, it can still work there. So this is how we simply go, we can deploy and test it. You also have like you can go, you can try with a Gen AI models to be available. You have like models with endpoints that's said to be there. So you click on models with endpoints and you can find almost like all models. You say deploy model, a base model, and you have like a GPT-4, you have GPT Meta even, right? You have all these models that are said to be available. You can try with any of these things, calling it on a chat playground, and it can still work for you. So let me say I need to use GPT-4, right? And you see like GPT-4 O mini, you have GPT-4. Let's try this, say confirm. And we could then say deploy this. Okay. See, you also have like, I want to dive this deeper. We can set it on tokens. You can say that it's set to be your billing. You can say token is set to be like 5K and connect the resource which we created before. So let me say I want to connect with this particular resource and the model that we want to use. Okay. And the content filter, this for maintaining the assets and the encryption. Let's say deploy them. Well, then we find like you have a playground. So say open in playground. Let's wait for this. It's getting deployed at the back end. So you need to wait until this is set to be done. Yeah. So say try the chat playground. You can select, the version that we have. You can give the instruction as well. Let me say you are an AI assistant for Dynamics 365 Middle East user group, who is to help people in translation. Now let's give apply changes, right? come back here, say hi. Oops, I'm sorry. Let's say hi. It builds a story. Let's wait for this. Remember, I haven't given actions like you need to work only for translation, so it can do anything now. Whereas the Copilot one, I gave a restriction. So say, hi, how can I assist you today? Can you help me in translating from English to Arab? It says, yes, I can do it. Now I will say, how are you doing? Try this. Okay, it says that you wanna go with this. Now, let me say, try this in, we haven't set any restrictions. So I can say, try this for Tamil then. So let me give this. Oh, rate limit exceeded. We set up like 5K for the limit, so it has exceeded. We need to adjust it. I mean, like it can work. It can simply go, it can work. The reason is we haven't set up any kind of restrictions. Now, if you want to publish this, then you say, okay, exporting is towards a JSON, but you go back to the playground, you can select it and publish it, towards a web app or anything that you look for. You say deploy and try to be working with the same thing. So I repeat, you go to the AI service, you try calling it up across, you go to the model plus endpoints again, deploy your models. Okay, see, here we go. And you have an option called deploy. It's still running on. So you can go to deploy. Can you find this? And that lets you to go with having your, your app, your AI agent to be ready available there. Now, when you call this towards your mobile app or your custom app that you have, then that's exactly where you have your AI agent to be at. You can also add your data. Say you call it from SharePoint, you call it from Cosmos DB, SQL, or even from a AWS or Salesforce CRM, something like that. I mean to say that it's open to the hybrid setup too. So that's altogether like what is said to be there between developing an AI agent. Let's say setting the comparison with the Copilot Studio and the AI Foundry as well. You can get more time. We do have a LinkedIn page where you can find out blogs. Okay, go for Copilot Factory. You can find like what we have been doing over here, and you have a LinkedIn connect as well. Let me say, see here it is. You have the LinkedIn page, so you can find us here where the blogs we write it across. You do have the blog on which you can make sense like what's the recent steps that we have been doing and what's the community contributions that we give towards AI here. So that's all like what I have for today, and we'll be having further sessions. I have been synced up with Venkat to take it further with the AI Foundry speaking about RAG. Okay, let's have some RAG time discussion. Let's have some vector time discussion as well at top of this thing. You can let me know if you have any questions. Do you have any questions for me? Perfect. So you can reach me out as well over the LinkedIn, or you can get me connected with the help of Venkat too. I'd be more than happy to keep my knowledge to be shared. Thanks for the session. Thanks for your wonderful time as well, Venkat. Over to you.
Thank you, Abdul. That's a very insightful session on the Copilot. Yeah, everyone is now curious about building AI agents, and that definitely has a good takeaway on that for now. So if questions comes up, you guys can directly reach Abdul as well on LinkedIn. And if you have anything, you can put it in this chat. I can take it up with him. So we can help you as needed. And we'll also try to see some follow-up sessions, which we can do it with Abdul. Uh, Thank you so much, Abdul. Thanks for your time over the weekend. And one more minute, I'll show the. Hope you guys can see my screen. Yeah. So we have our next session, session 25, implementing copilots in D365 F&O for crude operations. This is going to happen on 5th of April. 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. GMT plus 4, which is Dubai time. And if it is in India, it will be 12:30 to 1:30 a.m. So 1:30 p.m. And you guys can register for this session using the QR code, and we will shortly publish on our social media channels on this. And we have the speaker Subhashish Chakraborty going to explain us this one. So for now, happy weekend. Take care. Bye bye. And we'll again see you on 5th April. Thanks, Abdul. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time as well.